Welcome back, everyone, to the PGL Quake Champions Open. I'm Jason Kaplan, and we're underway with our second day here of our 3-day event where all the players are participating for $50,000 on the line. And it's been a fantastic duel tournament so far. And if you guys missed out on yesterday, where the hell were you? But luckily for you, we've got a recap video to show you what went down in yesterday's games.
Ron knows it. He's going to be collapsing in on him in just a little bit. Here comes the fight. Sirius has got the LG, but he doesn't have the time or the health to switch back over. And this is going to be Sirius going down again. Sirius going to be...
Oh, Sirius quite has the exact timing on Heavy right now, but he catches Zrom.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a good rocket from Zrom. And he's got the rail. Yeah, 47% rail from Sirius, 53% LG.
Oh, a fantastic orb coming out of Ron to even the tables just a little bit, but he's still going to need another frag here.
Yeah.
But again, like, Sirius has been able to go all in on some of these fights and just get so much work down. But there's the starter shotgun doing its job.
Rapha doing some decent damage right now, especially with the LG off the map he goes. Rapha rocket jumping away. Very nice play by Rapha, waiting for the sound cube. Here we go. Rapha still has the stack advantage. And the shotgun will finish him off.
Cooler got, honestly, a little bit lucky here, but in the next play, oh my god, it's going to be a mid-air rocket. He's going to need this piercing sight here pretty soon, but it's going to be a fight over the Mega. Doesn't quite get it, but the damage is good coming out of Rapha, at least initially, but Cooler's LG is so dangerous.
He'll be confident.
Here's the jump pad and gets stuck on the jump pad, and Cypher will absolutely get melted.
Cypher already having an angle. I don't like that play from Avec. However, Cypher gets a good early rocket. Avec sticking around again. Cypher doesn't know a thing. He's right below him. He's going to spot him and maybe a little
drops right onto him.
Oh god, that lightning gun was 100%. Clean angle. It's like you've got double jumping right into that. He's going for the punch? Does he mean that?
He wants the bar fight right now.
Oh, he gets one shot on him. He's quite weak. He's going to get the rail back in a second. And Cypher can't get out of there.
What a shot.
That's a nice spot on the map to just gather information. Oh,
that
what a
great rocket.
Oh.
And throws him out the club, and Sirius trips and falls. Aggressive play here from CNZ as Sirius gets caught out by the Heavy. But that rail flick, though.
Maybe if you've got all 3 totems up and another one spare to put down, you can, you know, block those points up a bit, but he should go down here. Get that orb. Saving his life was important. He missing on the flame strike. Sirius.
He holds his ground, tries to get another shot in. Wow, and I guess when you do that with the slipgate, why not?
That Mega got delayed a little bit. He's going up there. The rocket's going to hit him, and the rail. Drop down 2, dual wield. This is going to hurt a lot for somebody. The rockets, who's landing them? Buxter really needs to...
The point is he survived with his life for the time being, as Buxter playing very slow in the stairwell, but he will get railed down to 35 HP and...
Oh, what?
Cypher with the LG. Buxter's already down. So crippled.
Oh! Cypher's struggling to push past on this. There's 30
he's going to push for this. He needs to. Doubles back and reads it well, and Cypher will get the frag, but... Heal comes out from Buxter as well with 30 seconds left. He's got pineapples to work with and a shotgun.
And heavy on top of that.
But it's a thick boy now.
Yeah, it is. And here it is. It's going to run into the... Oh! He's
15 seconds.
He's going to find him. He's even
my! He tries to rocket jump for that extra boost, and he's just like, I'll just throw myself out the window. That's fine.
There's 2 great rockets from them. Both players leave heavily wounded.
Buxter has a totem.
Oh!
There it is.
This is bad for Lupin, though. He's kind of stuck in a corner, but he's just pushing in. But he's definitely not expecting that, backing up onto Mega. And Lupin is just charging in over and over. That 100 damage rocket, though. Oh, this could be a lot of damage coming out from Lupin. Switches to the LG base. Can he get out? yeah, with like 5 points of health, and Lupin will chase him down. That's good. That should give him a bit of a morale boost.
So now I want to see his control. Now that he's been able to get that. Okay. Well, now control's just been thrown out the window.
Yeah, Base has got control of the top now. Another vertical rail. Is this going to be the end? Lupin tries to get out. Base, click. No ammo left. Very nice rocket jump, getting a lot of horizontal speed. Both major items up. Which one is he going to go for? He's just going to go for Lupin. He doesn't want to take anything.
Oh!
Is he going to push in? Yes, he will. LG out and at the ready. There come the defensive rockets, but was going off the map. Ring out. Almost out of rockets, though. This has got to be careful.
Wasn't a lot of damage, but that was a good prediction there.
Yeah,
and again, double 41s,
Oh
up to
my
triple
God.
20s. He might die to fire, though, if he takes any damage.
Yeah, trade. Trade, that's definitely going to favor Kilson since he was one champion up already. That's a good rail at the start. Railson once, twice. Can't hit
3
the first
times
one.
the lady.
Oh no, Kilson. Oh, you will find it at the end. Bit of LG damage coming through. And was actually getting position onto the heavy. Kilson is going to push in. Was kind of stuck right there.
God.
Oh.
These shots. Oh my God, kill. Okay, yeah, don't jump off the mountain. Oh! Oh, and he goes back in! What is going on? He gets the frag. Kilson!
Can he figure out? Oh, he's looking the wrong way entirely. Taking a lot of flame damage, but nope. Quick reaction though.
They're now the Death Knight, and this
no.
is Kilson spot him out already. The Dire Orb will come through, and Waz's tournament life looks like it will be ending here. And what a crazy day of games we did have yesterday. I do want to give a special shout out to Squeeze Toy for joining us, flying all the way out to Romania just for that 5-second clip we had with Kilson up against Waz. But I'm Jason Kapp, and I'm joined by 2 lovely gentlemen here on the desk. We've got 40 Lions as well as Jahar.
Lovely.
One more
All
lovelier
you.
than the
All
other.
you.
I'll let you 2 figure out which one is that.
It's all him.
It's
him.
you. It's you. I'm sorry to spoil
You're
it.
too sweet to me.
I
Too
am.
sweet
It's
to
because
me.
we got the beaks.
It's
You know?
that beak allegiance.
Yeah,
I like it.
exactly.
I'm sorry,
Jahar,
Jahar.
work
I'm
on
sorry.
the nose.
I'm sorry.
Help us out here. But first of all, 40 Lions, day 1 kicked off. We had so many great games. Avic versus Cypher was one that really stood out, that went to the 3rd map. It was such a close series. Tell us about that game.
Absolutely insane. I think a lot of people were like, okay, Cypher's going to take this, no offense to Avic, except for me because, I called it. I'm
true.
just saying. But yeah, very close map 3. Avic took it, knocking him to the lowers, but Cypher made it through. So
A little bit of a team kill. A little bit of a team kill.
bit, just a little bit of a push. Just, hey, me first. Me first.
Maybe Cypher's letting Avic get in. He's like, hey, I'll help you out.
Could
No,
be getting
definitely
in
not.
his
Avic earned that too. And we saw a lot of Dire Orbs come out of Avic in particular, where he was getting multiple frags and Cypher's using his for mobility and had some questionable times. But the Brule story, I think, Jahar, over the course of yesterday, serious.
Yeah, nobody was really expecting him to get as far as he did. He was the very first game we had in the morning, him versus Ron, and actually Ron eventually didn't make it in the group stages. So serious, I was wondering if he was feeling like a little bit chuffed or expectant about his performance today, and he's just not worried. He doesn't care, according to him. He says that. I don't know if I believe him. Like, you can look deep into his eyes and think, oh my God, what am I doing?
He was stone cold when I talked to him. I was like, you nervous at all? He's like, no, I don't care. I'm like, okay.
He doesn't lose unawoken.
He doesn't.
I didn't know he was Russian. No, but I do want to mention, I heard from after he was done playing, he was actually really disappointed in his performance. It's like you beat Zron, you qualified through first in your group. Come on, how could you be disappointed in that? It doesn't make sense.
I think some players just play at a certain level, and when they don't hit that, even if they do well and they excel, it's just they know they could do even better, and that's not necessarily a bad mentality to have going into day 2.
And today he'll have to. His group is actually one that I think he could do well in, but he won't be able to take it laying down.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Let's actually take a look at the brackets we had from yesterday. If you guys want to see any of the results that you missed out on yesterday, and you can see the people qualified through. We'll start with the upper bracket, because there was a couple of players in there that got relatively far that we never really expected. Wenger, you can kind of expect that, but we wanted to see what his performance was going to be like at this event, because we've only seen him at one event before this back in Tours, which was a 2v2 tournament.
Yeah, of course, being a younger player, it's always neat seeing some of that new blood come in, so Claus has got to watch out. But of course, he's through as well. I love seeing Toxic in here. I think he was kind of in a middling expectant stage for a while. And it's always a question mark, like, what Toxic are we going to get at this LAN party? What Toxic are we going to get this day? And that's still my question going into today.
I mean, of course, 40, we had a crazy match, like off the bat. One of our first games, the second game of the day actually, Cooler versus Rapha.
Yeah.
That's a grand final in its own. It's a grand final that's been played multiple times, but Cooler was the one to get the better of Rapha, and Rapha didn't look like the person that we normally see when it comes to him playing.
Yeah, historic matchup, and Cooler took it pretty convincingly. I think his rail really helped him out, but again, Rapha's still qualified. It's going to be okay. Everything's fine. Everybody calm down, okay?
Yeah, we're not into the elimination matches yet today.
But their two playstyles, they clash more than maybe anybody else in the top tier scene right now. So it's a tough matchup for both of them.
All right, let's take a look at the lower bracket. You guys can see the last 8 players that did move through into today's games. Dewey, for one in particular, for me, that really stands out.
Yeah.
He got knocked into the lower bracket by Razy, but he got through today, and actually he's playing against Cooler as we speak. And last time I saw, he was winning.
Be still my beating heart.
I know, right? Just don't root for NA, Jahar, and everything's going to be all right. But we see we had Base get through there, ended up beating Lupin in a very one-sided match. We had Agent get through as well. It's good to see the 2 Cyberfight players be able to make their way through. And then there's that match that really stands out right under the Agent game. It's going to be Zron and Kilson, and Kilson took out Zron, not even in like the qualifying match. It was just an elimination match.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. I think the match that stands out to me, though, was Cypher Buckster. I don't know if people saw it, but Buckster got thrown out the club and then injected himself out the club, and I cannot get that out of my head. That clip is just burned in my memory now.
Just being responsive is like, wait, I'm not 21.
Yeah, he's like, I need to leave. This is bad. I need to be honest here. But yeah, a close game. Cypher made it. Buckster almost had it on map 2, but couldn't force a map 3, and Cypher gets through. Very excited to see him play.
Judging off of Cypher's performance yesterday, he's definitely got to be on high alert today. Hopefully he's feeling good. And of course, morning games are always a little bit different, and you get different temperaments between players as well. Some people can, get here to the LAN center first thing in the morning and just be hot out of the gate. Some people need a little bit of time to warm up.
Yeah. And speaking of warming up, I did catch Garpy warming up before, who did qualify through in that match in the loser bracket. Lower bracket loser. I like call it loser bracket because technically they lost, but I guess lower bracket's more PC. But he's a player that, like, I know Zoot's been talking about constantly. I know we've all been mentioning he's a quote-unquote kind of dark horse. Like, he can perform really well. I know I saw that. I know it's like dark horse, but we said about like everyone.
Of players this week. Yeah.
But he's a very strong player, and he's been able to show up like time and time again in a lot of these major tournaments. I just want to see if he has what it takes here into the group stage.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. His rockets are absolutely fantastic defensively. I think he could be the one to take it all, really.
Well, you know what? We got our groups. Let's take a look at them, actually. Let's take a look at Group A to see who's going to be participating in that one. And it's going to be Cooler, Claus, Base, and Dewey.
Death group number 1.
Yeah, they're all death groups. And we already have a result actually in there. We were just told Claus did beat Base 2-0.
And Cooler and Dewey is still going, so presumably they're into a 3rd map at this point.
That's actually going to be really interesting. And,
I guess be right back. I'm going to go check that out.
Go let us know.
One overtime, either one.
I'm actually curious on your guys' thoughts of the Cooler versus Dewey game, because to me, Dewey has the potential to tilt the hell out of Cooler with the Dire Orbs.
Yeah, it's been kind of his go-to strat against certain players for a long time. And Cooler, I think, would be an interesting person to try to tilt because he's pretty creative with his gameplay himself. But he seems to get a little bit off-center whenever somebody gets as creative as he can get. And Dewey's definitely one of those players. He's been innovating with ability usage and just pacing and positioning ever since the beginning of Quake Champions, pretty much.
And this is what I love about the NA versus EU clashes 40 is you have these different styles where like Cooler's not used to playing against NA players and Dewey's not used to playing against EU. I know you played a relatively high rank in NA, and I know you haven't had the chance to play anyone here, but how disjointing would it be to go up against such a different style than you're used to?
Well, I've actually spoken to a lot of the players, and a lot of them just say, hey, I didn't even expect that out of the gate, and you can't adapt it quick enough, and then before you know it, you're out, and you're like, what just happened to me?
Yeah.
So
don't play Awoken as the first map. Easy.
So it can be really rough to try and adapt mid-game, and that's why getting practice games as quick as you can when you get over here is so important.
All right, let's take a look at Group B now. We can see what players will be participating in this one. We've got Wenger, DaHanG, Rapha, and Agent.
The boys.
Yeah, this is something that, obviously yesterday during the group picks, there was a little bit of consternation about the fact that DaHanG and Rapha are in the same group. It's still a possibility that they will be the 2 to go forward, and Wenger and Agent will not, but I think they got the work cut out for themselves.
Yeah, last time I did see Wenger versus Agent, when I was back there watching, it was, I think, 2-2 on Awoken. And Wenger came back from a really bad round to actually win the round himself. So I'm not sure how that one wrapped up, but that was a very, very close game. Both of them had massive parties watching behind them. And DaHanG Rapha, I don't even know what to say about that one. Actually, that's going to be our first match eventually, so we're not even going to talk about it too much here. Let's take a look now at Group C, though, and see the players participating in this one, because it does not get easier. We have technically more than 16 of the best players in the world here. We have like 20-something players all matched up now against each other, and we've got Group C kicking off with Razy, Toxic, Garpy, and Cypher.
No Americans. I'm a little bit less nervous. I'm fine.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Next group. No, I mean, all these groups are insane. So we're at the stage of the tournament where they're all killers, and you have to play your best game to move it forward.
You know, we didn't get to see Razy at all yesterday. We didn't get to see what kind of pace or kind of, you know, stature he's bringing to this tournament today. But he's been a player that's grinded the hardest in terms of online tournaments throughout this entire year. Hands down MVP just for being able to do that. And we're going to see if he can kind of replicate his performances of the past.
Yeah, I think with Cypher in there, Garpy and Razy are kind of at the same level, I would say. They've had kind of similar results over the past few LANs. Cypher hasn't been able to attend every single LAN lately.
Right.
So it's really exciting to be able to see him here along with everybody else. We kind of have the whole gang back together just about. But at the same time, he's got a lot to prove now. He's been a little bit out of the spotlight, and Claus has been kind of getting in there as well. So I really wonder, you know, how much contention there is just between those two.
Yeah, and actually, I would love to see like a potential Claus Cypher grand final.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe not in the grand final, but we'll see it in groups probably.
Yeah. Well, eventually we'll get there. Yeah. But let's take a look at Group D. Let's actually see the last 4 players participate in this tournament for $50,000. Avik, Sirius, Kilson, and CNZ. So, in my mind, off the bat, we've got Sirius, Kilson, and CNZ who are already at the same side of the bracket. Sirius has to feel really comfortable with this group.
Avik was playing incredibly well yesterday. Kilson, I think from the games that we saw, he was a little bit more just like directing snuff films from the games that we were watching. So I don't really know how to gauge him at the moment, but he was looking really consistent, which is a big deal in these LAN events. So I think Sirius still has a good chance to get top 2 in his group, but it's going to be tough.
I mean, he was super calm and collected when I spoke to him. 50% LG in one of his matches. Like, I don't see him not moving forward. But
Kilson has like one of the most like steady like temperaments out of anybody here.
Well, you look at this group, you have 2 players with Avik and Kilson who have been at so many LANs I couldn't count them. Then you have Sirius and CNZ who haven't been to as many. Sirius, this is his 2nd LAN period. So is he going to be able to carry over the performance from yesterday to today? That's my big question. Can he maintain that performance?
As long as he doesn't lose on Awoken, it's all good.
As long as he stays undefeated, everything will be fine. I think if he goes into it with his temperament of being just a stone-cold killer, he can actually push them back and say, who is this guy? Like, why is this happening to me on LAN? Because they do have that experience that maybe he doesn't, but I don't think that should shake him at all. I think he should just play his game and just hit 70% LG. And
no problem.
Easy.
And to some extent, if you're showing up at a LAN, you do need a little bit of like a, you know, I'm just going to mess everybody up, no problem. But that can backfire. If you're Sib.
Shots fired.
Too soon.
Rude.
Oh, God. I need to get one of those in today.
Just had to sneak that in there.
Of course. Let's take a look at the schedule. Obviously, you guys want to see what games we're covering today, and we can show you exactly there on your screen. The opening match, DaHanG, Rapha.
The boys. They broke bread last night. I witnessed it. They went to a Pizza Hut. They were fam, and now they have to fight each other. I can't believe it. It's crazy.
They have, because they're both very top tier, not only in teams but also in duel. This is not unprecedented. Quite the opposite. They've had to face off against each other in finals and semifinals many, many times in the past. Fortunately, if you're looking at it in a certain way, they're not necessarily knocking each other out of the running at this stage, so it's not super dire. But it's always an entertaining match, and it's always a bit of a toss-up, like who's going to take it today. I think in the long run, DaHanG is the dangerous guy here. I mean, look at him back there. He's scary.
God, those are amazing. When are we going to cut our own of those? Anyway, I think this matchup is going to be fantastic
Yours
because
what? 90% beard, just the camera's zoomed in on it.
Just all facial hair. We can make that happen. I think we have the technology. But I think the matchup is going to be fantastic because what 2 players know each other better than teammates? I mean, we saw Avik and Cypher kind of go at it, but I think even more in depth because these guys have played so many 2v2s. They've won so many 2v2s. They bounce ideas off of each other for duel. They're constantly, you know, working on their strats together. And then it's like, oh, yeah, you know everything that I'm probably going to do. So I think there's going to be a lot of hard reads going into this match, and I really look forward to it.
It makes it hard for us, actually, because nobody's going to be able to analyze what they're doing with each other more than them, just because they're like 8 levels into that Yomi stack.
Yeah, roughly 5 steps ahead, but we'll see. Maybe he has to be 6 this time. Maybe 7.
Step by step.
We'll see. Day by day.
I don't know what's going to happen in that match. I can't predict it. I think you're right, Jahar.
You have to make a choice.
Well, luckily I don't because I'm the
Pick a
host.
Sun.
Oh. Can I pick Claws?
No. I think I'm going to go with Rapha. I think.
We're not
I have
even
to.
in the prediction game yet for this.
I know.
We still got time.
Yeah, but
You
I'm
have time
5
to
steps
revamp
ahead,
it.
just like
So
Rapha.
you committed to Avic yesterday when no one else would, and you were right. Now you're
Fearless.
committed
You have to be fearless.
Yeah, and credit to Flea. He was the one calling serious.
Yeah.
That's true. Actually, speaking of serious really quickly, there's a lot of people saying now that he's going to win the whole tournament.
It's always exciting when you see somebody who kind of rises up through the ranks, and then you go from going, hey, that's kind of neat, you know, good job, to, oh, he's dangerous.
It's like he's still winning?
Yeah.
What? Nobody stopped him? I mean, again, that LG, I hate to harp on it, but that's pretty incredible to hit that amount of LG.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. If he could hit that 70, make Zoot happy.
Zoot's never happy.
That's true.
You're
Let's
never
be honest.
happy. You
That's
didn't like
true.
Kilson yesterday.
Let's not go into Railsin and the lack of he's been in this entirety of Quake Champions. But guys, let's actually take a closer look at our match coming up. It's Rapha, it's DaHanG, and it's going to be a killer. Oh, that was great. I love
fantastic.
those videos. I love those videos.
They're so good.
I did like the Rapha one where he's like towards his back.
It's awesome.
Oh, hey, Base. I didn't know you were joining us here on the desk. You know, congratulations. But
Couldn't
guys,
figure that one out.
let's break this game down a little bit. We've already touched on it in the, before that that video happened. We talked about these two players know each other so well inside and out and inside. And I'm curious, is there going to be that next step coming in? Like, are they going to read into each other, then predict what's going to happen next? You mentioned forward, they bounce ideas off of each other constantly. And when it comes to bans, I already talked to DaHanG, and I think he's going to take away Keel.
Yeah,
from
and
Rapha.
I think
good
that you're
choice.
right. And Rapha has been playing a lot of Keel. And again, I think he even knows what map he wants to try and play against him. And I've heard, a birdie told me that he might pick Veil and try and get Rapha out of his comfort zone.
You birds talk to each other a lot.
Was
That's
it a
true.
toucan?
What?
Was it a toucan?
It was.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got those jokes all my life. It's
fine.
great to be able to share it with you, though.
I can't wait to touch beaks later.
We are on air.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. We're live right now?
This
I'm
is
sorry.
PG-13.
Are we not?
We're
Yeah.
not. This isn't the late night show
Oh,
on HBO.
right.
after.
Hold on. Let me write that
I
down.
am concerned, though, because I think I'm really starting to wonder, is Rapha only playing Keel enough to make somebody think, oh, well, he's going to go Keel, so I'm going to ban Keel. And Rapha's not actually all that attached to Keel.
He just peppered it in.
Yeah.
Just for this day. He knew this
just
would
the
come,
right
and he's like,
amount.
he's going to ban Keel, and I'm really going to
It's
pull
the
out
eyes
like
of a
clutch or
stone
something.
cold killer behind you, too.
Just staring
It's
at me?
got,
Is that what I feel right there?
Yeah, that little pressure behind
Yeah.
you. But guys, we are going to actually head to an interview with DaHanG before we did kick off this match and hear about his thoughts of yesterday and, of course, what's coming up today.
Hi, my name is Tim DaHanG Fogarty. I play Quake for Team Liquid. I live in Orlando, Florida, a small town outside of Orlando, Florida, and it's just a typical middle-class neighborhood, nothing special. I was introduced to Quake by some friends back in middle school when I was like 12 years old. We burned some copies of the Quake 2 CD and played quite a lot, and it was a lot of fun. I love the actual arena FPS style of the game, the actual gameplay. So the movement and the fighting is unique. No other game can really deliver the kind of fast-paced action that still requires a lot of mental ability as well. I choose to compete in Quake because I find the gameplay very unique. I love the movement style. It's a very fast-paced game, but at the same time there's so much going on that requires you to exhaust your mental capacity as well, and that combination is just second to none. My favorite champion is Galena. She's pretty balanced, and the ability to heal herself is very strong, and you can almost always find a way to make it useful. I think round-based dual mode gives me a disadvantage because it puts a bigger emphasis on raw fighting ability and raw fighting skills, which I think there are a number of players that clearly surpass me in that area. And my general map control strengths aren't as easy to, I guess, overcome that in the round-based format. I played against a lot of players. I played mainly against Chain and Dewey leading up to this event. And again, I think the emphasis on the reviewing games helps me potentially even more than the playing. I'd like to play against all the European players if I can, because in North America we have a smaller population, so everyone knows everyone's style and we all play each other, and I don't get to play the Europeans very often. So Toxic, Abec, Cypher, Razy, Claus, and pretty much everyone else, I'd love to play against them. I would just like to thank Team Liquid for sending me here and continuing to support me as a Quake player.
Great little interview with DaHanG there, as we got to talk to him yesterday and get his thoughts about what's going on. I gotta ask this though, guys. Galena, is that him mean?
He can't keep getting away. He can't keep getting away with this.
Is there something I can throw at you? Yeah.
I'm sure you have plenty of things over there you could throw at me. One of those sweet laptops, which you actually might fix this thing going on my forehead. Who knows? But anyways, let's talk about this match a little bit here, guys, because this is like the pinnacle of NA Quake. These two players here, whether it's team-based, whether it's duel-based, and we're going to see, as the tournament's kicking off, like the first match being them. So in this matchup, how do you think it's going to go in general? Like the styles they do have of them knowing each other inside and out, reading into each other's thoughts and play style here, Jahar, how's it going to break down?
Rapha is nothing but consistent, and DaHanG likes to get a little bit more creative, and that always comes through in 2v2, where you see DaHanG, you know, like trying out Clutch, trying out Strogg, trying out Keel, trying out somebody who's going to be able to throw everybody off, and that's exactly how he approaches Rapha as well. And I think we're going to see that as we're getting into a map like Veil of Nath. Usually a map like Blood Run is kind of Tim's favorite, but again, just trying to shake him off of his Keel.
And also, I'm just curious about your thoughts on this. I talked to DaHanG because he wasn't even warming up. He was just sitting down, you know, relaxing. I'm like, aren't you warming up? And he's like, that's my secret. I never warm up for matches. I literally hop into a custom game for 5 minutes.
But he told you that's his secret. You can't just go blabbing that out.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's not
a secret
anymore. It's not that crazy of a secret, is it? Like,
yeah, I guess not.
It's fine. I'm fired.
Everybody, now everyone's going to stop practicing. That was the key there. He's going to throw everyone else off. Just stop practicing, and then he's actually practicing. You know
By the way, from that interview, would you believe that DaHanG drinks like 6 monsters a day?
I would not actually. Wow, what's his heart rate? I mean, it's like 160.
I just want to know where that room was. That was fantastic.
It was in the grid. We were in Tron. I'm pretty sure.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, it was fantastic.
I would love to cast in there. But obviously, we do have the map picks here and bans as well. We do have Visor being taken away by DaHanG, and I believe that's Death Knight taken away by Rapha. So any initial thoughts on that? The kill not going to be dropped.
Rapha picked Veil?
Yeah,
DaHanG was going to pick Veil.
That's what I thought. That's
maybe Rapha just one-upped him. He's like,
God.
oh, you're going to go to my
What is happening?
That would be
Joke's on you, son.
Wow, I'm already in shock. Okay, cool.
Actually, wait, that's bans. Those are bans. Those aren't picks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't actually know.
Yes.
I'm gonna.
Right, well, as long as it's not me that can't read English, because I always feel at odds with that.
Well, you guys are in the lobby, right? So you can tell me. There we go. Okay, so
Veil,
it is there.
yeah.
So Veil Molten Falls Awoken.
And Rapha picked it. That's crazy, actually.
Yeah, he definitely, like, again, 17 steps ahead. Wow. He has to be. Because DaHanG was like, I'm going to throw him off his game. I'm going to pick Veil. And Rapha's like, no, you're not.
If I was DaHanG,
I'm going to throw myself off my own game.
Yeah, nobody makes me throw off my own game except for me. So
oh, right. They always like asking us if we're ready or not. But
I've never not been ready. I'm constantly ready, born ready.
I think DaHanG is going to need to drink another monster for this because, yeah, again, like that was... we were talking very quietly. I don't think Rapha could have overheard, like, hey, DaHanG,
he hears everything.
What's your map pick going to be?
Yeah.
What's going to be Veil? And what is happening now? So, yeah, he's picking Molten Falls as a backup, but Awoken's going to be a tiebreaker. And, again, I like this. Awoken as a first map, just it gives me the heebie-jeebies. My skin crawls.
Both maps have a lot of verticality for this one. I don't know if we'll even go to Awoken. I'd like to see this go all the way to 3, but... we'll see, man. I hate seeing this. I hate watching the boys fight.
I love it.
Someone's got to win.
I love
Money's
it.
on
it's
the
like
line.
two brothers, you know?
Yeah.
But who's the older brother and who's the younger brother? Are they twins?
You never watch brother fights?
Twinsies. I mean, this
well,
is...
my brother's 4 years older than me, so it's more of him beating my ass than me being able to do anything back to him.
So it's more like a bad memory
I will
thing.
protect you.
Yeah.
You tell me and I will protect you. But anyways, this is quite the bromance. It's getting torn apart.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart, guys.
I don't know.
It breaks my heart.
It happens every time. I
I cry every time.
Wow. Okay. Well, I
Very
appreciate your
emotional.
dedication.
Yeah.
But as we're getting into it, I think it's a big toss-up. But I think what do they call it? Sunk cost fallacy. I think I'm going to go with DaHanG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just for the
He
sake
did
of
win
argument.
DreamHack winner,
Just for
so
the sake of argument. Go
Wasn't
with
a
Rapha.
flash in the pan.
I mean, you have to know something's up his sleeve if he picked Vale. So Rapha. I'll go with Rapha.
Well, I'm curious. What do you guys think kind of picks we're going to see when it comes to champions on these maps? Like Vale, we did see a lot of like bursty ability champions, so like Death Knight, which is going to be banned away. We saw Ranger. We saw who was the last one? Can't remember. Keel. So
Yep.
Keel is going to be available. But the thing is, like, we know Rapha or DaHanG can play like every champion in the game.
Yeah.
Like he literally is good on every single champion. Where Rapha, on the other hand, is going to be very good as well. But they've been mixing like their style when it comes to twos, where like Rapha will play clutch on one map, then DaHanG will play clutch on another map. So when it comes to picks here, what do you expect to see, Forty?
I feel like Galena is a lock.
Don't look at me. Look at him.
Galena's a lock. Maybe some BJ. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I really hope that Rapha never watches this VOD, but DaHanG's rockets are a little bit better. It's kind of a staple of him.
Hurtful.
So I think if he can get into a situation where he's controlling, rocket angles and getting that splash damage off, getting the first hit, that's going to be everything.
I mean, this is going to be a very interesting like series as well, because Rail's going to become very prolific when we get to Molten Falls and over to Awoken. But the verticality, like you guys mentioned with Vale, and technically with Molten Falls, is going to heavily rely on those rockets and even a bit of LG. But we do have some picks coming through, guys. Why don't you walk us through what we currently have?
Well, it looks like, again, the Galena's locked in automatically into the Rangers. Again, I love Rapha. Look at that beaked Galena. Big shout-outs to us. I know he did that for us.
He did.
The third champ is going to be very interesting to see what they go with.
How much would I bet it's going to be a mirror match?
It very well could
Yeah,
be.
it's just what is the mirror? There's the Keel.
Kill.
Are they
like
just going to
swings.
throw this to go into overtime every round and just be like a 4-hour match and just
I
be
don't
like,
think
we can't
so.
hurt each
I
other?
don't see that happening in Vale, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's going to be either somebody's going to spawn LG and then rocket launcher is going to be an immediate point of contention. You're going to see things back up a little bit, but then those Galena totems will become a factor. It's going to get bloody.
Yeah. I mean, using the Galena to control that upper area with those totems. I wonder if someone's going to start off Keel and maybe try and get overly aggressive and say, hey, I got pineapples, back off, but we'll see. Look at that power stance from Galena. Let's get into the game.
All right, well, guys, why don't you take us away here for our first match of the day? It's Rapha and DaHanG, and it's going to be a team kill off the bat here.
Yeah, makes me sad, but let's get into it. Jahar, what do you say?
First thing in the morning, let's fight. And, of course, it's going to be Rapha on the LG spawn as expected a little bit, but it's going to be him getting on that rocket launcher. Not a big contention from DaHanG, but DaHanG's coming right up that jump pad, doesn't care. And what was I saying about DaHanG's rockets? Rapha's rockets are just on point today. Who needs warm up?
Fantastic 1-2 combo into LG, and DaHanG just gets caught out at that jump pad, which is just a terrible place to get caught going up. But quick frag for Rapha here as he makes his way back to rockets.
And of course, having the now only Galena on the board, it gives you so much map control, especially if Rapha can take the top of the map. But DaHanG coming back in with the Keel is a good way to flesh that out. He's trying with everything he's got, grenades, nail gun, but he's going to have to leave it. Can't even get on the churro for the armor pickup. Taking a little bit of damage and doing enough to keep Rapha from being fully stacked up, but he's right back up to the top of the map.
More importantly, DaHanG got a rocket out of that. So now he can actually fight back with his fantastic rockets that you were talking about. We'll see if it goes better this second time around here. As he grabs a rail and moves up the jump pad, back towards rockets, and here's another fight with the rocket.
My God.
Wow, the damage is so good, but not enough. The rail's fantastic, and now Rapha's crippled, tries to get a rail of his own, but gets away. Goes up the jump pad towards the Mega, not going to be up for 10 seconds.
That was definitely I have a railgun 2 shot, but he didn't quite get the connection. DaHanG actually did get the better end of that fight, especially with Rapha still getting the heavy armor, but now has to fight his way back into Mega, which is really just the key point of control here. It's going to be DaHanG getting it, but not getting it for free, down to less than 25 health, and the LG finishes him off.
Just a little bit of a tickle, and he gets that frag, and now DaHanG has a lot of work to do here with his Ranger as he has the rail spawn. Needs to be very careful here. Rapha not giving up that rocket for free, but a good rail from DaHanG. Another follow-up, they will trade, and DaHanG has to be very careful here. Wow. I guess he doesn't have to be that careful as he pushes in with the rail and gets the frag by window, and he will get the heavy for
That's
his
exactly
trouble.
what he needed. I mean, taking 2 frags like that from Rapha and almost taking a third one here immediately as Rapha just pushes in up top and nearly takes down DaHanG with the LG. It's going to be some good shots coming out of DaHanG, but he just cannot hold on to it. Rapha taking the first round.
Yeah, getting caught out on that rail room is always rough.
And of course, I mean, Vale has a way of just kind of pushing you right into the fight immediately, and that's exactly what we saw here. Nothing really ever slowed down. Losing a Galena as the first frag. Really doesn't really give you the option to set up for anything more clever, but it's going to be a fight on the rocket launcher once again. DaHanG is going to get it this time around with only the 24 health, but Mega's still up, as is Heavy Armor. It's going to be a big question mark whether or not Rapha is going to show up to the churro.
Yeah, fantastic rockets by DaHanG there, as Rapha will get his rockets of his own. DaHanG getting the rail, trying to get those time charts to get the totem back up, maybe get some overstack going, fighting over this armor. Just a little bit of an LG tickle, eats a rail.
That was interesting because DaHanG left up Heavy Armor, and Rapha had thought, of course, I mean, he just took Mega, of course he's going to go for Heavy Armor. So DaHanG didn't really actually get a whole lot out of the last 20 seconds here. It's going to be another fight over the Mega. DaHanG's got a rail at the ready, doesn't quite make the shot, and Rapha's going to get that Mega for free.
Trying to stack back up off this 50 now. Orb is up, so he does have to be careful, as Rapha can just dire orb his way into DaHanG's soul here. As DaHanG waiting by that teleporter, and Rapha knows it. He's like, don't you do it! Here comes a quick little fight, but the rocket damage is not going to be enough on either end. And Rapha will say, at least I'll get heavy out of it. Has enough time to try and make a move on this Mega as well.
Yeah, no totems, no orbs at that fight in particular, but now DaHanG's taken control of the top. Exactly the opposite situation of the last round, where DaHanG lost his Galena. Now Rapha's fighting back without his, but the LG is good, and Rapha's going to be down to 60 health, recovering very quickly at the rocket launcher, as DaHanG is now on his own Ranger.
So strong and just so icy. I mean, no pulse. Look at him.
No.
Zero. He doesn't mind. Ice in his veins right now as the fight over the churro comes out. Rapha with the strong LG again switches to rockets, gets a little bit of splash. Needs to be very careful.
They're both the weakness. The
tribal.
tribal. Oh, he couldn't even steal away the Heavy Armor to deny that from Rapha, so this recovery could go well. Fortunately, DaHanG gets a spawn at the LG at just about the best time, so at least he can trade it for the Mega, and the fight will continue.
That rocket, though. Rapha gets a little bit of damage trying to make his way back up to this heavy machine gun area. Heavy will be up in about 10 seconds now, just trying to wait on some sound cues and figure out where DaHanG is.
Yeah, and this timing split between the two items is very dangerous now. If Rapha can't take control of the top and at least throw down some rockets and Tribolt, Heavy's going to be bad news for him. And indeed, the bad news comes from the rocket, as DaHanG takes not only the frag, but full stack control, keel on keel. But DaHanG is looking a little bit chubbier.
Oh, he's going to get caught out here as Rapha trying to throw those pineapples at him, says, get off me, but DaHanG says, I'm getting in there, and ties it up at 1 apiece.
So acidic, but it's going to be 1-on-1, and this is exactly what we wanted to see between these two guys.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like, they're close matches. Like, you can tell they kind of know exactly what they want to do, and the fights on this map in general on the rockets, like, so ridiculous to try and fight over the rocket room.
They're still sticking with Galena as the first champion picks. DaHanG having to give up the Mega Room in favor of a rail, and that's going to be a good thing for him, but he still needs to get himself a rocket launcher. Rapha's going to know that, dropping down from the Mega. We already have a 10-second split between the two items, so it's all about top control now.
Rapha's actually going to give up rockets. Ooh, but DaHanG can't push in to grab him, so still no rockets for DaHanG, unfortunately, as he makes his way over to the heavy machine gun and says, I gotta find a way to get these.
And DaHanG's keeping pocket totem for the fight, but that fight's going to be given up as Rapha's going to take away the Heavy Armor. 6 seconds to Mega, and DaHanG's deciding it's not worth sticking around. 100-100 is going to have to be all he sticks with for the moment.
He's trying to make a move on an LG here, doesn't want to overextend. Here's Rapha drop down, and now he has to back out real quick. Tickle comes out, good defensive rail here, and another one throws down the totem to heal up. Has to be very, very careful with this next move here.
Yeah, this is a difficult angle for both of them. DaHanG's going to have to give it up, though. There's not really anything for him to go get at the moment. Heavy's coming up soon, but it's going to be a bit of a fight. But DaHanG is actually putting himself over on the Mega side. He's going to have to wait there a little bit if he wants to hatch that Mega. And here comes Rapha going in for the assault, reclaiming what's his, and taking the frag.
So good with the rockets. Fearless just plus forwarding, saying, I know that you have to hit all your shots, and if you don't, I'm going to take this frag, and he does exactly that. Good follow-up with the LG, too, and just like that, DaHanG is down onto his keel. 1:30 into the round.
He's done amazing things with that keel in the past. He just needs to get up close and personal, reach out and touch somebody. But it's going to be Rapha keeping control of the top with the totem in place. It's going to keep DaHanG off his back for at least a little bit of time, but it's going to give DaHanG a rocket launcher, maybe priority on this Heavy. But nope, Rapha just hopping on through, picking it up, no problem.
Yeah, DaHanG trying to play the low ground there and trying to lob a pineapple in his face. Unfortunately, couldn't connect and get some damage off that. So Rapha has full control now. Pretty fat stacks.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot to chew through. Close range is going to help, but Rapha's rockets, as we've already seen, are on point today as well. Here comes the fight at the rocket launcher room. That totem makes things so difficult to maneuver around, gives you no options and no time to adjust.
This map pick is kind of blowing me away right now. I was really convinced that DaHanG was like, yeah, he doesn't really like playing Veil. I'm going to pick it. And then
DaHanG was going to pick this.
Yeah, Rapha comes out, picks it, and now he's up 2-1 on Veil of Noth.
Was he like kneeling over him like while he was sleeping.
Are you wired up?
And
Are you
hearing
the snitch?
and
We'll talk about it later as we have
hearing
to fight.
DaHanG just whisper Veil in his sleep. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take Veil. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Wow, what a rocket there on the churro. DaHanG drops down for that heavy. Rapha takes upper control and grabs the Mega.
And that's everything in Veil. Like, you are either playing this from the back end with Rail and hopefully getting those angles in, or you're controlling the top of the map, especially with, again, Galena v Galena. You need those totems up there. Rapha keeping the pressure on as DaHanG's going to be backing off. Doesn't really have anything to collect right now other than the railgun itself.
He does finally get in on that railgun, so he does have the long distance game advantage against Rapha as he's missing out on the rail, but he won't miss out on that heavy armor. And Mega's going to be up soon. He might be able to pop in and do a little bit of machine gun damage. He's going to rocket jump up, and that's actually going to push DaHanG off. And now full stacks for Rapha as he's trying to fight DaHanG off. DaHanG trying to splash some rockets in his face and say, get out of here.
Well, bear in mind, I mean, DaHanG really did respond to that aggression from Rapha rather well, so it ended up being a bit of a damaged trade rather than Rapha just taking control of everything, which means that this heavy armor is going to be potentially very spicy indeed, as they're both going to be up top. There's the rocket to pop him off, knocking him down to the bottom indeed. We've got Rapha taking away that heavy armor, but also taking a ton of damage.
Yeah, that tri-volt's so deadly, but Rapha's going to get back in on this Mega and stack back up immediately now. And he's going to try and catch DaHanG out. The stacks are a little bit equal here. Rapha, of course, with more health. He's going to grab this 50 as well, and he's looking better. He's going to drop down onto DaHanG. Rocket damage not as good as he wanted here as DaHanG just spamming nails trying to get away.
Yeah, losing out on that heavy and the subsequent Mega means that the next, 20 seconds or so are going to be a little bit different pace unless DaHanG gets caught down here. Rapha just pushing on through, and DaHanG's Galena goes down.
Trying to do as much damage as he can. He was kind of stuck out. He does hit some rails, but again, the stack on Rapha amazing already as he gets in on the heavy and the Mega again, and just like that, huge stacks and the rail, and DaHanG is on the back foot now and has to run, and he's going to get caught out. Good orb, but Rapha rocket jumps up. Won't follow up. That actually gets
body
a bounce.
block. Yeah, that was great. That kept DaHanG alive, if only just. He's going to be back in the Hourglass room looking for some recovery, but you have to walk a little bit in order to get all the health back, so it takes some time, and especially coming up into LG, this is a bad place to be. DaHanG's out of it, though. He's managed to escape, but he goes right back once he came. I don't think he's feeling all that aggressive at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know if that was intentional, but Rapha backed up, and now he's actually going to keep item control, which is a little more important here, and he might couch out DaHanG in this area. He knows something's wrong. He's sniffing it out. He misses the rail, but still has him stuck in that rail room as the orb comes out from DaHanG, and he will actually take it.
What a great orb. But Rapha had the right read on it, and so far the noose is tightening with these rockets. DaHanG back on the run, and Rapha's stacked up enough. Like, Mega's going to be a quick thing to pick up, 5 seconds to heavy, but he doesn't even really need to show up at heavy. He can go back in for this rocket jump. Second time's the charm, looking for the rail. Oh, I was thinking that was going to be the shot, but here it comes from Rapha, just keeping the pressure on.
And DaHanG just trying to fight out of a corner here, like, please, please don't. We're teammates. Stop this. The Dire Orb comes out, but Rapha will chase him down in the corner with the LG and down to the keel for DaHanG.
Rapha is now 1 frag away from taking the map that DaHanG was going to call against him.
Insane.
Rude.
Absolutely insane.
All right, so good totem there. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be some nasty damage to DaHanG trying to get these pineapples in. The Mega's going to keep him alive just a little bit longer, but this is treading water as Rapha's still at 66 health. Not quite coming to the attack, but as DaHanG drops down, there's the rail, there's the map.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, I did call Rapha. I didn't think he was going to take it like that 3-1 on Veil. That was quite the game
I
there.
think from all accounts, it was DaHanG that took it. Like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
That was rough.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know. DaHanG couldn't really get something going. Rapha was playing really well. He wasn't afraid to just leave items up and keep that pressure on and keep chipping DaHanG away and saying, I'll get Mega in a second. It's fine. There's no rush.
The thing that struck me as a little bit odd was when DaHanG decided to go through TP and try to take the top. It was always at a point when Rapha had just left top for just a little bit. He was like, Mega's not up, Heavy's not up, no big deal. So every time DaHanG was up there, he was like, cool, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for control. But it wasn't really getting him much. But as we could see, DaHanG getting some good rails, the shots he got off. Of course, Rapha on Veil, keeping control, doesn't need to rely on the rail as much.
Yeah, the defensive rails were great, but I mean, if you can't follow up with the damage and finish off the kill, it doesn't really mean much. So
it's kind of how Quake works, yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to kill the enemy to get the round, is what I was told. I'm getting that in my ear right now.
Pro tips here today.
Yeah.
You don't get those anywhere else.
Snapple facts. I'm all
Shoot
about
him until he dies.
Let's just open that. What does that say? Oh, get the kill, win the round? All right, sweet.
Remember what Rapha says, winning is cool. Yeah.
That needs to be a
Nothing
t-shirt.
cooler than winning.
Yeah, love it.
But we're going to be going into a rather hot map up next. It's going to be Molten Falls, which doesn't actually have any lava in it.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
It took me like a few days to realize. I was like, there's no lava in this map, surrounded by lava.
But important to note, you can get thrown out the club. I'd like to see that.
You can indeed. It's going to be a much larger map than Veil, obviously, so maybe a little bit more room to breathe, but the rail accuracy is going to be important. But what we saw from DaHanG, when he had that rail in his hands, he was getting, like, not just the easy shots, but he was getting some really tight angular shots as well.
Yeah, he's probably going to rely on that rail a lot more on this map, too. And again, another mirror. The Galena's locked in, Ranger, and we're going to get BJs on this one instead of the Keels, which it makes sense.
Sometimes it feels like the mirror matches are a sign of respect. It's like, okay, we don't need to get too crazy and try to get inside each other's head. And sometimes it's a little bit of a front, like, okay, cool, I'll play you, tit for tat. No problem.
Yeah, maybe it's I'll see you and I'll raise you and I'll be better than that champ. We'll see. We'll see though. I don't know. We'll see. I still have my money on Rapha. We'll see if DaHanG can force a third map.
I would love to see that because Awoken with these two would be fantastic. Molten Falls, again, a much larger map, but hopefully much larger chances for DaHanG.
We will see as we're going to get into it now, going live on map number 2, guys. It looks like Galena on Galena again.
All right, but here we go. It's going to be Rapha getting the spawn on Rocket Launcher, not dropping down for the Mega, immediately putting a little bit of delay, a little bit of spin on that as Heavy's taken by DaHanG. He's going to have priority on Railgun, but dropping down here at the jump pad, he didn't want to be in that fight right away. Going to be getting the hell out of dodge as Rapha's going to be taking over the top of the map, giving him all the information he needs for the next fight.
Yeah, that was almost a panicked IR. Luckily, he got away with his life here. Just went back up the trampoline and was like, no, not like this.
Yeah, so with Rapha back in position for the heavy armor, he knows that Mega's like just a second after the heavy. But it's going to be pretty much an even trade, and really this map is turned into DM6 where you're really looking to offset these item timings as much as possible. So Rapha's actually... What?
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 Dude, can we get that cam? Can we get that cam? He's like, everybody saw that, right? Are we live? Is that stream live? As he slowly walks out of the club. Yeah, that didn't happen. That's fine. So Rapha's going to get in on that railgun. A little bit of LG. Actually make that a lot as DaHanG pushes in. And the Rockets are good, but
DaHanG
not
has
good
no
enough.
mercy.
I think DaHang's
like, you messed up. You got a bad spawn. I'm going to finish you off. But Rapha comes back with these crazy rails. What is happening?
Mind games. He's like, I'll even give you a frag, and I'll still come back, and I'll win this.
What?
And I cannot believe that happened. And never mind, DaHanG says, I have a rail. Don't get out of here.
Yeah, DaHang's double rails with the BJ are a force to be reckoned with. But Rapha actually spawns Nailgun with DaHanG coming back in with the LG. Rapha just going defensive with these nails, and you have to respect them. But DaHang's LG finishes him off. Gets the round. So hopefully this time Rapha doesn't, you know,
what a crazy
fall
round.
off the map.
Yeah, you generally don't want to do that, but what do I know? I'm not a pro. Look at this. He's like, I've been listening to Michael Jackson. Let me moonwalk a little bit. Here we go.
Replay guy has no mercy. He was like, that's a clip.
There it is. I like the grin at the end. He's like, everybody saw that. Oh, man.
Keep a straight face.
Ah,
don't freak out. All right, so getting back into round 2. Hopefully a little bit cleaner here. Come on, guys. We're trying to do our jobs. Don't mess this up for us.
Yeah. Rapha has that upper area now next to shotgun, just waiting. 3-second split between the items here. Rapha's just trying to get in on this LG. Lacks a rail as well. DaHanG moving over. He smells something. Does he hear Rapha below? Gets a good rocket there. Rapha goes up. Follow-up rail from DaHanG does not land as he's trying to fight for this heavy. Whew. Good rail.
It's a remarkably difficult map to keep pressure on somebody with, because once they get away and they break out towards Mega or Heavy, they're going to get it. And you really need to rely on putting some heavy delay on the items or setting up these traps like we have right here. Rapha with some great LG from below. DaHanG finally getting in that last little bit of shaft and taking the frag.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And I like how they both knew it was going to happen. You saw them swap to LG together, and they're like, we're doing this. We're fighting right now.
Oh, yeah, it becomes a battle of attrition. And, you know, fortunately, Rapha didn't quite go off kilter like he did against Cooler yesterday, but DaHanG still had those first hits. Rapha's not giving up this heavy armor. Oh, my God.
This is mine, as DaHanG had the superior position but couldn't rain down the rockets and get a lot of damage. Now he's not looking too hot as he grabs a 25 and a 50 armor. He's going to get in on the Mega and a great orb out there. Well done here.
Really well baited, yeah. He didn't want any deja vu there.
Yeah, Rapha almost hits a rail on the exit but misses. He's like, next time, I'll get you.
Next time I won't fall off the edge here. But really good defensive rockets from DaHanG. And he's going to be popping back through LG, but we've actually got Rapha up here at the shotgun. DaHanG dropping down for armor. And we've got Rapha overlooking, looking for a bit of an opportunity. DaHang's actually pushing this in. He's got the LG at the ready, as well as the rail. Doesn't quite get the hit. This could mean a Mega going to Rapha, but DaHanG is here to throw down and shove off as well. Yeah.
Rapha peeking a lot, and DaHang's going to be able to chase this rather easily. The rocket is decent, but not enough as DaHanG chases with the LG and gets it. Rapha kind of stood there for a little bit longer than I'd like.
Yeah, just wanted to catch it all, but we've got DaHanG with his orb back up, 1 frag away from taking another round. We are not too far away from going to Awoken. I'm holding out hope.
It's still early.
Yeah, it is. Rapha could fall off again.
Yeah,
Who
you
knows?
never
Anything
know.
could happen.
Yeah, man, people in the streets are always saying that. Man, Rapha fell off, man.
Rapha going on a little bit of a chase and getting rewarded with that rail, getting DaHanG down very low, but as we know, there's 50 health at the railgun room. That rocket jump was interesting. Nice, well, almost well faked out. Yeah. It was tactical, definitely.
Oh, the
intentional.
spawn.
Oh my god.
Wow, what an orb to get the 50, but how long will he survive as he has to give up the Mega 19 HP as Rapha running away trying to lick his wounds here. He has the heavy next to him, and he can possibly get these 225s.
Yeah,
this
but
is very dangerous, Rapha.
Yeah.
As he backs into a corner now, he's like, everything's okay, it's okay. Wow. Oh, I thought he was going to get knocked off the map. DaHanG pushes in. Rapha taking a lot of rocket damage, though. Both players very weak now.
Surprised that either of them walked away from that, but Rapha's going to be able to take away the 225. Still 8 seconds before the Mega comes up, and he's ready for him at the top of the stairs. Didn't see him, though, and this is why we leave X-Ray on, because that was a huge missed opportunity from Rapha. It's going to be a missed orb as well as DaHanG takes the LG and takes the frag.
Just gets caught out a little bit and didn't want to leave. Wanted that Mega, and DaHanG was like, I'm going to pop these duels, and you're down. So he's up 2-0 on Molten.
Wow. I mean, that first round was tough to watch. By which I mean I'm going to watch it repeatedly.
I'm not going to stop watching that. Yeah, I need 100 million views on that clip.
Just leave it on repeat. Every TV in my house, yeah.
Now I'm going to be paranoid. DaHanG's in the room. Okay, good. He just gets clear of the room. So DaHanG orbs up, grabs rockets, and he could catch out Rapha here as he rocket jumps away, grabbing those time shards again. He wants the orb back as quick as possible.
Ooh, and DaHanG doing a little bit of Dewey here, getting a little bit clever, showing his cooler. But we hear the jump pad. Rapha's going quiet as well. Yeah, as soon as he doesn't hear DaHanG anymore, he gets very paranoid.
Something's
Rightfully
wrong.
so. Yeah. Feel it in the air.
Rapha still doesn't have a rail, but DaHanG's going to give that up and try and make it back to heavy. A little bit of LG damage. Rapha will get in on the heavy, though.
Yeah, that 29 points damage was definitely worth the trap.
Yep. He's like, I got you. I got you right where I want you. As he orbs away, I like that play a lot. Grabbing the Mega and just getting far, far away. Clean pickups. As DaHanG waiting on this LG. Now Rapha finally gets in on the railgun, gets out of there safely, which we know he struggled with in the past.
Absolutely. And that room is dangerous. I mean, there's a lot you want to take in the rail room. You got the armor, you got the rail, you got 50 health. It's a great place to recover, but it's also the worst place to get caught. Yeah,
you always talk about how Sync Air is a bit of a troll when he creates these
yeah,
maps and
absolutely.
need to be in and out of there.
He seems like such
die.
a nice guy, but no, he's cruel and unusual.
The maps are a lie, man.
Yeah. So Rapha taking a little bit of damage here. That rail, yeah, good thing that was a whiff. But he's setting the trap, tries to go in for the orb, but now that the orb has failed, how is he going to get out of this alive? He's so low, and, well, spoilers, he's not getting out alive.
Can't run away. He found him as Rapha gets the first frag, but here comes the dual-wielding BJ from across the top here. The nail guns come out, but Rapha with the LG is not afraid. What a trade, as Rapha will get the railgun kill, but the nails will pierce his soul. And, yeah, that's unfortunate. DaHanG onto his last champ, Galena. Rapha trying to get around on the board.
Yeah, after QuakeCon, I would never want to take that angle against DaHanG when he has a railgun, ever. Like, don't bet on it.
Yeah, just don't do it.
All right, but they're going to be on BJ for Rapha. DaHanG's got his Galena out. And honestly, it would be nice if that was a little bit of a reverse here for DaHanG, because Rapha's going to be able to take away that heavy armor, but he can't quite break into the LG side very cleanly. DaHanG's going to be looking for a railgun. He's going to get the pickup. Rapha's using that as a moment to break back over towards Mega. But he's actually coming up shotgun. I think DaHanG got to hear that.
Yeah, DaHanG getting in on this Mega here. Rapha just trying to get one good trap is all you need with dual-wielding BJ. Rapha's going to go up and run right into it. This needs to be very careful here as the totem comes down, and he will back away and shoots a rail, misses, grabs those time shards, though.
I appreciate him trying to bait out the dual wield, but
yeah.
That was a little bit too telegraphed. It was like, hey, this is definitely bait. Low quality.
The rocket, wow, great damage on that.
That was free.
And the dual wield is popped as DaHanG raining rockets down, goes up the jump pad, eats a rail as well, and Rapha needs to lick his wounds now. No dual wield up. DaHanG knows it. He can get in on this Mega, and now he can play super aggressive for the next 30 seconds-ish, unless Rapha gets in on these time shards.
Yeah, a lot of respect to Rapha for not going all in on that Mega. That was going to be too risky even for this kind of play. But it's a pop through the TP. DaHanG dropping down. He doesn't have a whole lot of armor. Be careful not to step off the edge. But we've got DaHanG looking for the pickup on this heavy, but it's not going to be worth it with all this LG coming out of Rapha. They're both going to be low. We got the pickup from DaHanG, but Rapha's Tri-Bolt gets revenge.
Wow, so he puts a round on the board, and he's not making it easy for DaHanG. He's like, all right, the first round I literally gave you one, but I'm going to play now. So 1-2, Rapha putting a round on the board. Well done.
He gave it to him, yeah.
He sure did. He was one step closer to the edge.
Oof. Love that rail.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Again, DaHanG's rails were fantastic, as we saw in the first map here. Rapha playing very close, like seriously, one step closer to the edge, and he almost broke, but throws down that totem. The rocket will keep DaHanG off of rockets for himself for the time being. A little bit of tri-bolt spam.
Run
DaHang's
to
gonna
over the
finally
line,
get them.
yeah. All right, but yeah, again, hopefully that hasn't affected his heart rate too much, but
What
a
a
great
rocket.
rocket as DaHanG just immediately changing course away from that teleporter, but right into DaHang's rockets. 1, 2, 3, and DaHanG goes down.
That was fantastic play by Rapha there. Not much DaHanG could do. He could have just completely turned tail and run, but he stuck around too long, orbed in, and yeah, easy kill for Rapha.
It's not a good place to hang around. Sorry. I'm contractually obligated to make these as terrible as possible.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. All right, so DaHanG backing out of rail, getting a good defensive rail, but that totem is not going to be going down all that easy.
Yeah, face checking the totem, taking the damage now. Just kind of waiting. Armor's up in 5 seconds. Rapha's going to be back on the shotgun platform waiting here as the next fight will occur for the heavy. Missed rail from DaHanG. And he's just going to give it up, and Rapha knows it. Again, leaving the item up, and he wants to attack this other item now. But is the double back good?
Yeah, I think so, because Rapha left up the armor thinking, okay, he missed his rail, he's going to go get Mega, he's going to think it's safe. I'm going to get an angle on him, but DaHanG double back to armor. Rapha double back away from the Mega, and now it's cost him everything. So DaHanG just got double items, no problem, deleted the totem, and now he's ready for the fight.
DaHanG was like, I know that you know that I know that you know.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, why do analysis for these matches? Because these guys, I've just been at it for such a long time. Oh, but here comes rockets. Could be messy, but it's gonna be worth it. Just hit the guy. There it is.
He's like, one of these has to hit, right? Surely. And as Rapha goes up the jump pad, he will get exploded. Now onto the BJ here.
He's gonna see him drop down towards Mega, gonna get it, but there's a rail just as a party favor.
Yeah, good job keeping that rail out, getting that chip damage off the pickup and punishing whatever he can. DaHanG spamming that tri-bolt here. He's like, I know you're there. And there it is. He has
Found
the
him.
damage. Yep.
So with DaHanG looking for the angle on the teleporter, I think he heard it, Rapha pop through, but Rapha dropping back down towards rail. Not quite putting much pressure on this heavy armor, but he's going to be able to move back in towards Mega in time. Is it going to be worth going for the pickup, though? I mean, Rapha's got his dual wield at the ready. DaHanG, same thing.
Barely getting away as that first opening rocket doesn't quite connect for DaHanG here, so Rapha will be relatively unscathed, moving his way back up to the shotgun, and DaHanG trying to find his way over there as well. Heavy will be up in 10 seconds.
We haven't seen too many moments where one player actually gets like the complete drop on the other. I mean, most of these fights, they know what's going to be happening before it happens. Even though they're looking to get these traps going like 4 times out of 5 on every single one of these item exchanges, it never quite plays out that way.
Oh, and here it is on the Mega. Dual wields from both players now, and DaHanG has that Mega pickup behind him and will get the best of Rapha. Rapha down onto his Ranger. Knows dual wield won't be up for about 40 seconds, though, so he can play a little bit aggressive, but he needs weapons first.
Yeah, overall, their LG accuracies are actually pretty close, 36 to 33, DaHanG's favor, but in that fight, he had the edge of the Mega and a little bit of extra as the shaft did its job. But we've got 1 minute 30 seconds left to go as DaHanG might be looking to push this into the end of the clock, but it's going to be overtime if nothing else, as DaHanG is now going to need to take down Rapha's Ranger with just the Galena. And as a third champion, Galena is always a bit of a, it's a tough choice. You really need the time, and if somebody really has momentum against you, it's tough to do anything about that.
Yeah, but if you can maintain control and kind of even it out, then that totem could be the difference. As someone can just back up into it, lose 75, or even just die to it. Totem goes down in the rail, a little bit of rockets exchange there. Rapha still has the height advantage. He will drop a little bit to spam and say, all right, heavy's mine.
But with that heavy and with that Mega, yeah, Rapha RJing right back into position for the Mega, making it very risky for DaHanG to stick around. Rapha knows it. Oh, almost gets knocked off the map. Almost gets knocked off the map twice. Down to 20 health. Going to need both of these 25s. As DaHanG is still here, but there's the rail to take the round and push us into a 5th round.
Yeah, going the distance here, going into round 5. DaHanG got great damage on there, but the Dire Orb, or the 250s, sorry, helping out Rapha, and he could close out the kill, take it into round 5.
That was such a messy BJ rocket, yeah. Like,
just hold down mouse 1, man. Just
like you said, like one of these has to hit at this range. Can't not happen like that. But Rapha spawning up Mega this time around, going to be getting the grab for rockets, and coming up top map, not going for LG and rail immediately. It's going to be more into DaHanG's hands. So Rapha trying to clamp off the angle, and DaHanG is showing a lot of respect here.
Rapha just holding that shotgun platform, trying to figure out where DaHanG is. A little bit of tri-bolt spam, just waiting for any sound cue. It's important to note he just has a totem backup, so he has potentially 2 totems down 30 seconds into the round. He's going to hold on to this one. Little pocket heal, never hurt anybody.
But DaHanG has so much mobility as a ranger. Like, he can cross the distance between Mega and Heavy pretty reliably, but he's not going for it right now, allowing Rapha to get up on this Heavy. So they're both going to be fairly well stacked. First hits are going to be everything.
Rapha just creeping, just waiting. They're both playing very slow right now, showing a lot of respect to one another.
Yeah, respect. That's the word.
Yeah, respect.
All right, so Rapha dropping down, moving back through rail. Moving through this Atrium is actually a little bit sketch most of the time, but with Heavy Armor coming back up, Rapha double backing right into it, throwing off a lot of rockets, showing DaHanG like, hey, I'm here, I'm going to get this armor. You don't even need to show up. Don't bother.
Don't come around here now.
Yeah.
DaHanG doing a great job of deleting these totems as he sees them, so Rapha can't get that overstack going. And again, just still really a slow play. Nobody wants to give up this 5th. Rapha just wants to take this in 2 and be like, yeah, I did it.
It's not something you see Rapha do very often, is wait around corners like this. That's usually more of a DaHanG thing, but again, this is the game of the Omi stack, and we've got Rapha popping back through TP, looking to keep the pressure on. Heavy's going to be there, but it's not going to come for free, especially as DaHanG has to push back in to get the grab, but he's really playing out his footwork nicely, still taking a ton of damage. This Tri-Bolt could be dangerous. The LG, though, is going to be the end of that Ranger.
Yeah, Rapha struggling a little bit first, but hits that hundo and then just stays the course and gets it, but needs to be very careful here. 41 HP is going to grab a 25 in the armor.
Don't shoot yourself. Don't Zorak yourself.
Yeah, got a little nervous there, and he's like, are you there? Spamming rockets, but DaHanG gives up the Mega.
They might need to give up this Heavy as well, so he's going to want a little bit of time to get back on the LG. He's got plenty of time, and he's only the 1 frag down. Rapha feeling more than comfortable to just sit on that Heavy, but this LG already punishing him quite a bit.
Ooh, misses that rail. It could have been a big opportunity there. Rails missed again as DaHanG just flying by and
It's
just
a shooting
passing
gallery.
through.
Yep. That shooting gallery shoots back, though, as Rapha's going to be collapsing on this Mega. You heard the totem throw out, so DaHanG's ready for it, taking all that Mega, taking all the LG damage. It's going to be a lot of damage going both ways, which means they could collide heavily at the Heavy.
Rapha doing a good job of
Or
staying
not.
his ground using that totem, though, and now he knows dual wield is down. Get the Heavy, and he could potentially get caught out here. Rockets exchange, LG comes out.
How is no damage dealt by either of those rockets? That's
And
incredible.
another one that doesn't do any damage, and the rail will miss as well. And Rapha's still not looking that great. Does have a totem at his disposal here. A little bit of tickle and a rocket, trying to keep DaHanG out of this Mega here. Drops down. That could have been risky, but DaHanG's LG not good enough. And Rapha has the superior health stack now, trying to get to this Heavy.
He's going to be a little bit late here, though. I mean, DaHanG is not even in position for it. DaHanG hasn't really been challenging for the Heavies themselves much in this round, and it's allowing Rapha to get a great stack, but here comes double rockets. Rapha doesn't want to push through the choke point. Maybe he does, and there's the frag. DaHanG now down to a Galena. He came so far in Molten Falls, but now we're at risk of losing it all.
Yeah, that was a fantastic totem. Just a giant sign that says no soliciting. You're not allowed in here, keeping him out. And yeah,
after Rapha fell off the map.
He's really close to closing out the game, and that's what matters. And the totem comes down from DaHanG as well, and the LG's good, but Rapha will have the height advantage, and the rockets will come raining down on DaHanG. Heavy goes to him, 73 damage, and the follow-up rail, and Rapha will take it 3-2 and take the series in 2 maps.
I guess he just had to say that. Took the series in 2 maps.
I mean, I'm just trying to be as accurate as possible for everyone watching at home. It has nothing to do with the fact that I said Rapha would take the series.
I just wish it wasn't so, but I mean, DaHanG doesn't seem all that bothered. Look at the smile on that guy's face.
I think regardless of how both players played great, Rapha took it, but the highlight's going to be when he moonwalked off the map. Got to be honest.
Need to ask him about that later. We didn't have the interview with Rapha this morning, but maybe after we can get in his head a little bit about that one.
Oh, yeah, we'll sneak that in there. We'll sneak that in.
But fantastic shots all the way, but you could see how much inaction there was between the two of them just because they were just so, trying to outmaneuver, outplay, which means that sometimes you just don't get the fights when you need them.
Yep. Speaking of inaction, Jason, what did you think of that series?
Well, I think one thing we kind of forgot about to mention is that this is probably one of Rapha's best matches, actually, because he knows DaHanG inside and out, and we know how much he's been struggling over the course of Duel in general. He's only had one good placing, and that was like top 4 way back in the days. So this is actually a nice matchup for him in the end, and we did see how well he did do in that match. I felt like he didn't get tilted. I don't know. We saw him like, suicide, and you saw his little face, but he instantly got back into it. on Veil of Nath. He got instantly killed by DaHanG with rockets in 2 rounds, but he just brushed it off and actually came back in one of those rounds. I felt like it was relatively tilt-free, and it was nice to see like Rapha kind of read into DaHanG and DaHanG read back into him as well, and it was actually a really crazy match.
Especially after yesterday, where I think the tensions were a little bit high because, yeah, trying to get into these group stages was the big thing, and there were so many players who came very close to not doing that. So the fact that this wasn't an elimination match by itself, and that, yeah, they've been teammates forever, I think you're right. Not a whole lot of lost love there, even as Rapha just, you know, fell off the map.
As you mentioned before, I like the fact that maybe they have played each other so much that Rapha had to switch his style a little bit and kind of wait around corners, play a little more slow than he usually would. But yeah, let's not forget he did fall off the map.
I mean, he fell
Never
off the
forget.
map, but he won 2-0.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe that was the
Well, it
sacrifice
didn't
to the
work
Quake
for
guys.
Don't try
Buckster.
this at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't work for Buckster, though.
Oof.
Let's not forget that.
Well, well, that's true. I was going to say he got forced off the map, but then he tried it anyway. He's like, maybe this sacrifice will work. No, sorry.
Yeah, no. Wrong god he was sacrificing to
And
himself
again,
to.
Veil getting picked up here by Rapha, that was the big shocker.
I would like to ask him about that as well and be like, hey, did you know that he might pick that? And was that kind of a mind game? Like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll pick that for you.
We know at 40, we're going to have the chance to do that in a little bit of time.
You mean it?
You can ask
I'm
him.
like a kid in
you
a
can
candy
do
store. This is fantastic.
But I might ask him before you. Just to
Okay,
kind
that's
of,
fair.
you know.
Is Rapha
I
the
deserve
candy
that.
store in this analogy?
I don't, well, no comment.
Shane, candy store.
Yeah.
And 40s
yeah, here it is.
in the candy store.
Here it is. There it is. Yeah, everyone look at the
can we-
screen and see that he fell down. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be afraid to keep running that just on a loop.
Yeah,
No
actually,
problem.
we should just supercut that over and over again.
Well, you're going to see it somewhere on Reddit, guaranteed.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
want it like highly edited, like a classical movie, like black and white, and then a clown flipping a pancake with one tear down his cheek. Like it was
There's
an
a random
epic
mime
moment.
showing up as well.
Exactly,
isn't it? You know,
exactly.
Spud Hunter's probably going to do that. He's probably going to make a face that he just made into an emote. So
Yeah, he's
if
in
you,
the bunker right now working on stuff. So
You know,
it's
if you
fine.
have Amazon Prime, no, I'm not going to go into that for him. But I do get 50% of his subs anyway. So anyways, but yeah, we did see this match. Again, like DaHanG played well. It's not like anyone played bad,
No.
but Rapha just seemed to have the better reads. And you know, we talked about accuracies are relatively the same, but I feel like the rail was one thing that really helped Rapha, you know, break through into the victory.
Yeah, there were a lot of fights that were just, you know, we're going to poke each other with rail. We both have, you know, traded items. But then there's so many fights that would have normally between, I think, 2 other players, like any 2 other players would have been, okay, there's going to be a fight at Mega, there's going to be a fight at Heavy. Didn't quite happen just because they knew, it's not worth it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. You do have Shane, also known as Rapha, here to do a little post-game interview with him. Rapha, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if we're good.
Look at that.
There we go. Oh, no, can't hear me. All right.
Okay.
Well, oh, there we go. Okay, you can hear me. So first of all, congratulations, Rapha, on that victory. Very
Thank
well
you.
done. Give me a general thoughts on how that match went for you.
I feel like we both played a little shakily, so I hope as the games go on that we get warmed up. Obviously, I want Tim to advance as well, so... but I think overall, I was playing the game pretty well decision-making wise, except for falling off the map on Molten.
No one
So,
saw that, don't
yeah,
worry.
We weren't
no, no,
even
I-
Wait,
bring it
you
up.
fell off the map? What? That's news to me.
Nah, I just laughed it off, though. It's like, it's whatever, just a dumb mistake. But other than that, I felt I was making really good decisions, being aggressive when I thought I had the advantage, and just applying as much pressure as I could, whether it was the map or just constantly finding ways to deal damage to Tim. And yeah, and his Blaskovitz play is very, very difficult to overcome. I think he utilizes dual wield. I think probably because of all the 2v2 we've played, like better than some other players. And yeah, like I didn't expect to die like one of the rounds where we traded frags, where like I killed him and he managed to kill me with nail gun. I figured I would kill him, but any other player, I'd probably live there. So just hope that he gets his shape in and he comes through the lower bracket and we can both advance. And I hope I win my next game.
Well, you mentioned maps, and 40 actually wanted to ask you something, because we were hearing inklings from DaHanG about choosing a certain map against you.
Yeah, DaHanG wanted to actually pick Veil of Nath against you and kind of throw you off kilter, but it seemed you picked that. Did you know that he was going to pick that? And
No, I had no idea. I picked it for my own reasons. He banned Visor from me, so I figured, okay, let's play the maps where Visor doesn't matter then, and I have the most practice without Visor. So I picked Veil, and I feel really confident in my champ picks there, regardless of bans, and so that's why I went with it. So I don't know. I figured he'd pick Molten once I picked that, though, and he did, because I haven't had the best track record on it, but thankfully I've been playing it a lot lately, and hopefully that turns around for me.
Well, I think you did set a record on that map as well by falling off, so we're going to see that for ages and ages and ages. So I'm very proud of you, but I think it was a fantastic display from both of you guys.
Yeah, agreed.
I did want to ask you about this in particular. When it comes to playing against DaHanG in like an official like this, how does the reading into each other's play style go? Like, are you purposely changing your style to throw him off, or is it just kind of adapting to each other mid-game?
I think it's adapting to each other mid-game. We both really try to play as control-centric as possible and just push little advantages over and over. I think the bigger difference is I probably have... Hello?
Hi.
Oh, okay, all right, it came back. I probably have the better rockets out of the two, and he has better LG. So I think like over the course of the game, we start to get adjusted to, our aim as like who's aiming the best on the day and what type of fights we should take and shouldn't take, and then you see like different adaptations over the course of sets like that when it comes to that. So I don't think we plan anything too drastic for each other. We just try to play our best.
Okay, Joe, do you have a question for him?
Actually, yeah. So in Vale, we saw a little bit of a mirror match as far as Keel goes. And Keel's been somebody who's been kind of creeping into Duel a little bit more. So obviously he has the ability to kind of very quickly make a frag happen with those grenades. We didn't quite see him become the game changer for either of you. Do you think that's going to be like a consistent thing moving forward, or is it a flash in the pan thing?
No, I think Keel has a lot of good potential. Like... His biggest thing is his stack off the spawn right now, and like you said, Jahar, the ability to have burst damage with grenades. And even though he's a big target, the advantage he has is if you catch a medium or light champion first with LG, it doesn't matter if they start hitting you, like you already started first, and you're just going to light them up. And like you have grenades that you can spam mid-fight that they have to worry about and you don't. So I think on certain maps, you might see him played by even other players as well, but I don't think that he fits the more open maps like Blood Covenant or Sarnath and things like that. It's just like a very niche pick for certain maps, and I like that. I like that certain champions are only picked, on some maps, and it creates a variety of style between the picks.
Do you guys have any more questions for him about this match? Because I wanted to ask him about yesterday's games.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay, so Rapha, you versus Cooler. Can you kind of like just walk us through that? Like that was that's literally like a QuakeCon final match right there in the making. Can you kind of like walk us through that match if you remember it?
Yeah, I think we were both playing well as far as decisions we were making. And I think just as the tournament goes on, Cooler and I will get better and better with our aim. I definitely noticed that in my decider game yesterday against Nico. I had, gotten used to the setup, and everything finally felt great for me, and compared to like the first game. And so I think hopefully as we keep playing and I guess hopefully advancing into tomorrow, that I'll just get more and more warmed up, and I think Cooler will do the same. That's like something we both were really known for back in Quake Live, is the farther we got in the tournament, the better we played. So hopefully that proves true for us today.
Okay, well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you taking some time to interview, or to do this interview with us. Don't want to take too much more, though, because obviously you do have more matches to play today. But congratulations against your victory with DaHanG, and we'll see you later on today.
Thanks, Jason.
Hey, he said my name. I'm happy.
He noticed you.
Yeah, he's very. It's actually he's literally the first person I ever cast a Quake with. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Another Snapple fact. We just have a bunch of those today. Let me open that up. Thanks for that.
Thanks.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, it is. It is very refreshing. But guys, yeah, that was it was a very decisive victory in the end. I mean, we did go obviously the 5 rounds of Molten Falls. We did have a great Twitch clip coming up on Reddit with Rapha falling off the map.
I want to see 1,000 views already on that.
At least, right?
It has to be. There's no way it's not. There's no way it's
He
not.
took it like a champ, though. No freak out, nothing like that. Just
small smile, too. He's
sensible
like,
chuckle.
Everybody saw that.
Sensible chuckle. Yeah.
But what I love about Rapha here is that yesterday, not attacking his performance, but he didn't win in the way he thought he would, I would guess. Win through
now
the
that
upper
we're not
bracket.
interviewing him, tell us what you really think. Yeah.
No, I like to see that with such an experienced player that he's been over the course of the years, he literally just bounced back into day 2 and he won his first match against his brother of DaHanG, and he's looking good to probably take the first slot out of the group as well.
I think so. I think that's a very strong possibility. It is a tough group, as most of them are. In fact, they all are.
Yeah, well, speaking of groups,
they're all here.
Let's take a look, actually, as the groups have been progressing throughout today. I think we can start off with Group B, I'm guessing, since we had, obviously, Rapha just play against DaHanG and see how that one did go out. We did have Agent actually take the game versus Vanguard, so I'm not sure how the 2-2 on Awoken did go, but obviously, in the grand scheme of things, Agent did pick up the victory. So we have Agent versus Rapha and DaHanG versus Wenger.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I want to see Wenger versus DaHanG.
I want to see them all.
Yeah, I want to see every match.
We need
in these
more
groups.
Quake all the time.
Okay, well, I'm being informed. Let me. Yep. Okay. We will be actually watching DaHanG versus Wenger next.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Just
I'm
kidding.
pleased. What?
It's Agent Rapha. I just want to get
No.
your hopes up.
Great,
Okay.
you did. You did.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
really
Don't
sad.
Hate me. Don't hate me. But that's going to be a crazy game. Do we actually have the other groups as well to look at? Because I would like to see how the entire tournament has been progressing through. Again, with so many great players, with so many great games, we do have Claus taking the victory over against Base, and then Cooler did take the victory against Dewey.
So you jinxed it. You
Yeah.
said Dewey was winning.
I still say you can't count Dewey out. I mean,
Oh, no.
Base is a very defensive player, but Dewey can easily be so aggressive with Ranger and Clutch that he can actually still take that match.
I'm going to say it now. I think Dewey can take base.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd agree with that. I think the opportunity is there. Hopefully he can just mentally reset. I don't know how we don't know how close the game was or anything. Maybe it was a heartbreaker. Maybe it was a landslide. But I just feel like if he goes into it with a fresh outlook and he's like, all right, this is a new game, new day, I think he could take base.
Yeah, so I think Dewey definitely has a good chance to be Base, but Base looked really solid yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Like a lot better than we usually see him when he's playing online. And if he does get maps that can favor him, like Blood Covenant or something like that, we could see him taking that one. We'll see. We'll
Won't
see.
count it out.
Yep. And Group C and D will be played later on, so we haven't actually done any of those matches yet. But again, there's still so many damn good matches happening over the course of today. We do have to head to a short break, but when we come back, we will be kicking off our second match in Group B. It will be the winner's match. We'll be seeing Rapha play against Agent.